Tiny apartments are all over the internet. London, New York, Paris, Hong Kong, Tokyo, you name it. But these aren't just design trends. They're real homes, in real cities, where spaces are a premium and living in larger apartments is not affordable. In Hong Kong, some workers live in tiny coffin homes. In New York City, you can find super tiny studio apartments for $2,400 per month. These are barely enough large to stretch your arms. So I asked myself and embraced for a self-initiated extreme design challenge. What's the smallest studio apartment I could design for a person to live in without losing their mind? And as I love design challenges, well, I did it. If you stick around until the end, I'll walk you through a full tour of the space. Let's take a look at it together, shall we? If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Lorenzo, an Italian architect based in London and founder of Sentioni Architects. My work focuses on transforming small spaces into something not just livable, but meaningful. Disclaimer, this project wasn't commissioned by a client, it's not for sale. It started as an extreme challenge. Could I design a studio apartment so absurdly small? It forces us to rethink what we actually need to live well. The result is a fully functional home in just about 100 square feet, or 9.3 square meters. Smaller than most parking spaces, smaller than even a prison cell. And yes, inside you'll find a bed, a kitchen, a desk, and even a bathroom. Bear in mind, this is not about glorifying tiny living. It's about questioning space itself. What do we truly need, and how far can good design stretch to meet those needs? Let me show you how it all comes together. Tiny apartments are not new. From 19th century's slums in the UK to Tokyo's capsule hotels now, people have been finding ways to live well in impossibly small spaces for centuries. In fact, small homes have often been more about necessity than design itself. Overcrowded, cramped, barely livable. A last resort more than a lifestyle. But recently, something changed. On platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, tiny apartments have become aspirational, minimalist, curated, beautiful. There's almost a cinematic quality to how they're presented. Clever storage, hidden compartments, transforming furniture. I even own several books that showcase stunning examples of highly designed micro-apartments from around the world. You're probably familiar with the microflats in Hong Kong. They're endlessly fascinating, ingenious in their use of space, often pushing the boundaries of design. But they can also be frustrating, not because they're small, but because many of them feel like survival mechanisms rather than true homes. So who lives in these homes? Well, students, digital nomads, single professionals, people who trade space for location, budget, and flexibility. Unfortunately, in spaces like Hong Kong, entire families live into these tiny flats. In London, the average studio apartment is around 20 to 30 square meters. But I wanted to go even further. What happens when you push the limits of space so far? It forces us to rethink what we actually need. The space I designed is just 2 meters wide by 3.9 meters long. That's only 100 square feet or 9.3 square meters. Roughly the size of a parking spot. Let's break down the plan. On the bottom right corner, you see the entrance door. Above it, I designed overhead storage cabinets with space for a wall-mounted TV and a fold-out smart table, perfect for working or dining. Beneath this wall-mounted joinery, I designed deep drawers, some for kitchen tools, others for folding chairs. Opposite the entrance is a full-height white wardrobe for clothes. Plenty of hanging and folded storage, plus extra cabinets above, wrapping around the east, south, and west walls. Now the boldest move. The entire north wall is a single multifunctional sage green joinery block, combining the kitchen, bathroom, and bed platform. The kitchen is compact but functional. A single induction hob, no oven, no dishwasher, but a deep sink that makes up for it. A small under-counter fridge fits just what one person needs. To the left, you'll find the entrance to the bathroom alcove, through a mirror-faced door. Inside of it, there's a small sink, a mirrored cabinet, and behind the kitchen wall, a toilet and a shower combo. Yes, it's tight, and yes, it's a compromise. But hey, this is an experiment in extremes. The bed is raised above the kitchen and bathroom. You access it by a timber ladder that can be stowed away during the day. It's a standard single mattress, perfect for one, and high enough to sit without hitting your head. There's even a shelf up there for your phone and a bedtime book. So, layout's done. Do you like it? Now let's look at the materials and the final feel of the space. The floor is a light oak engineered timber, soft, neutral and warm. The sage green kitchen brings depth and calm. The joinery is all MDF or painted timber, durable, simple and easy to maintain. I use small leather-like pull handles to avoid clutter. The kitchen splashback is a grid of white square tiles with dark grout, classic and clean. The countertop I chose is a dark marble, almost black, adding contrast and a bit of sophistication. All other cabinetry is white to visually expand the room. Everything feels intentional, nothing shouts for attention. Now let's talk about furniture, as we only have the real essentials. A folding chair, cheap and practical. A tiny poof for lounging or sitting. That's it. Because in a space like this, every object needs a reason to exist. Natural light pours in from a large windows facing the garden. It's fixed in this version of the design, so ventilation is handled by a mechanical extract system for the bathroom and kitchen. Lighting in a small space is key. I envisage dimmable LED strips under the cabinet and bed platform, plus recessed down lights overhead. So you get the mood and function all in one. In the bathroom, I use quirky tiles by Marazzi, an Italian brand I love. A small oval mirror doubles as a cabinet, and the shower-toilet combo is, well, what it is. Not ideal, but it works. The result is a tiny home that functions, that feels good, even if space is practically non-existent. Now, as promised, I will show you a quick tour of this super-duper tiny studio apartment. Ready? Let's go! This apartment isn't about minimalism for its own sake. It's about efficiency. It's about clarity. Tiny living has become a trend, but the truth is, it's not always romantic. There are trade-offs, daily challenges, compromises. But with thoughtful design, even the tiniest, most complicated flat can be unlocked. It can feel calm, human, beautiful. And if we make 100 square feet work, what else is possible? Would you live here? Could you live here? Let me know in the comments. Seriously, commenting helps others to see what's possible to do in their homes, even if they're not this ridiculously small. If you enjoyed this challenge, hit like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. It really makes a difference. And hey, this space might be tiny, but I'm very happy that this community is actually growing very fast. So thank you all, and I'll see you next Sunday at 5 p.m. GMT. Ciao!